Hello and welcome to another podcast episode. Really excited today because we have reached 5,000 subscribers. So I'm going to do a 5,000 subscribers giveaway. More on that in a minute. I have a new pattern release. I have a special 20% off Easter offer on my website, which includes the yarn for the new pattern I'm going to release. And I have a new project on the needles. Or on the hook rather. It's a new crochet project, which I started in a bit of a impulse decision last night, so we'll talk about that as well. Plus I made a bit of progress on some other stuff, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website yarnaddict.co.uk. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Last week, before I filmed the podcast, I woke up and I'd been just under 5,000 subscribers on YouTube all week, like 1 or 2 below, 3 below. Sometimes it'll go up and then it'll go down again. When I woke up last Thursday to film the podcast, it was 5,000 subscribers exactly. And I was like, and I wasn't sure to mention it. I did actually talk about it, but because last week's video was so long, I actually edited it out probably about 10-15 minutes because it was going to be nearly an hour long. And that's, nobody wants to sit through an hour of me talking. But also I have to upload it to Dropbox, and then so I can access it on my computer when I've edited the video, because I do it all on my phone. And then when I open my laptop, I have to then download it or make it available offline in Dropbox on my laptop, so that I can upload it to YouTube from my laptop, because that seems to give me a better result, better quality video for some reason. So, and that takes a long time. The bigger the video is, the more difficult that is. So I don't really want the video to be that long. So I edited a chunk out last week, including we reached 5,000 subscribers, but only just. And also I was worried that by the time the video went out, it would have dropped below again. But I think we're on 5,010 this morning, or 5,011. So I'm really excited. So we're going to claim it and celebrate it. 5,000 subscribers. I'm very excited. It's been my goal for a while. I even got like a congratulations thing from YouTube, so I'm really excited. It might not be a big thing to a lot of YouTubers, but it is for me, so I'm very excited. So I thought we'd do a 5,000 subscriber giveaway. I've been promising this for a while. So because I've got viewers all over the world, and because of restrictions on sending parcel to the EU, tariffs in the US, and customs charges for most people, I've decided to give away one of my online courses, because you can access that from anywhere without worrying about shipping, customs, tariffs, whatever. So if you win this giveaway, you will win one of my online courses. Depending on how many people comment, the more comments I get, the more I might give away a couple. I have online courses in successful lace knitting, continental knitting, finishing techniques for knitters, Scandinavian stranded colorwork and steeking, successful socks, and successful brioche knitting. So those are my online courses. They're always linked below. You can go on my website and find out information. Just click on workshops and online courses, and you can click on each course there and find out information. So you can win one of those. If you buy one of my courses, you keep indefinite access. You can access it at any time, work through the material in your own time, dip in and out as you want to, and you keep indefinite access. The only problem would be if the website shut down, for example, then I would have to find somewhere else to upload it, so that would cause a problem. But otherwise, you'll keep indefinite access. So that is very exciting. I also have a new pattern today, but before I talk about that, I've got 20% off for the Easter weekend. So until Monday, the 6th of April. It's actually set to expire on the 7th. I think it works all day Tuesday in the UK. Officially expires on the 6th of April, but I always set it 24 hours later just to make sure I don't, miss anyone. So you can get 20% off any order on my website. Still have loads of yarn left. Monaco Uruguay, Yatagan Merino Cotton, and Yatagan Organic Trio. loads of Sabbable yarns, both Sabbable, the sock yarn and the lace ball versions, and some Sabber flower and lace flower, and some Sabbable Crazy. And what else? Oh, and some symphony yarns, Terra and Viva. We'll come to the Viva in a minute. I also have some copies of my books, Easy Lace Knits and Beaded Lace Knitting, and some notions and loads of beads. So lots of exciting things to choose from. So I'll put the code on the screen, 20% off with the code Easter26, all one word, till the 6th of April. You can probably use it in the morning on the 7th. And any orders placed will be posted on Tuesday because it's bank holiday Friday and Monday in the UK. And I probably won't be able to get to the post office on Saturday morning because they close really early. So orders will be posted on Tuesday. Also, another bit of an appeal. I'm looking into starting to teach more crochet workshops this year. And I was working on my class submission this week for the Knit and Stitch show in Alexandra Palace in London in October and Harrogate in November. And I want to do, one of the things I want to do, I really would like to access one of my old crochet patterns that I designed for Inside Crochet, but I don't have a copy of that magazine anymore, I don't think, or at least I can't find it because I never got around to either taking digital copies of it or copying. At one point I was going to tear out all my patterns because to start with I was keeping all the magazines. Well, I've been designing for 20 years now. You can imagine how many hundreds of magazines I probably got lying around. So I started tearing them out with the idea of putting them into a folder for each magazine and then put them in date order and stuff. Well, I started tearing them out, but I never got around to putting them in the folders. So they're all now in a drawer over there. I should have really, because I started doing this with my kids for teenagers. I could probably have bribed them in the summer holidays to do it for me and paid them to do it for me, but I never did, and I regret doing that now. It is one of the jobs I'm going to start trying to tackle over the summer. So if you happen to have a copy of Inside Crochet issue 9 from September 2010, now Inside Crochet at some point was sold to a different publisher. I don't know whether they're still in publication or who owns them now, but originally it was published by the same publisher. She was called Carrie Allman, who published Yarn Forward. So if you've been around in the knitting world for as long as I have here in the UK, you may know who I'm talking about. She started Inside Crochet and then at some point it was sold. Not sure who to. I can't remember that. But Inside Crochet issue 9, I think it was actually my first ever crochet design. And I don't have the sample, and it was done in one of my hand-dyed yarns. So I wish I had the sample. But it's called the Flower Square Blanket, Inside Crochet issue 9, September 2010. At some point, at one point I had a computer for 6 months. It was one I was given by one of my nephews, I think. And it failed after 6 months and I lost everything on it. And I could retrieve the patterns I hadn't worked on during that 6-month period from my old laptop. But anything I worked on during anything new I worked on in those 6 months, I couldn't retrieve. And then at another time when I was transferring files from an old laptop to a new one, and at the time, because I didn't know what I was doing, I was using like a memory stick, so I was cutting and pasting them onto a memory stick and then pasting them onto my new laptop. Well, one of the memory sticks failed, and because I cut and pasted, not copied and pasted, I lost a bunch of files there. After that, since then, I've been paying for Dropbox, costing me a lot of money every year, but it's worth it because I can access it from anywhere. So now all my files are in Dropbox and I feel a lot safer. So that's why I don't have that pattern anymore, but I really like to have a copy of it. So if you happen to have Inside Crochet from 2010, get in touch. I might also get in touch with Inside Crochet, see if they have back issues that old, but the problem is it was owned by a different publisher then, and I don't know whether they're still going anyway. I'm assuming they are, but different owner then, so I don't know whether they'll be able to help me. Let's chat about my new pattern before we talk about my knitting. So if you're not a crocheter, you can skip forward a few minutes, but I am releasing a filet crochet pattern. I'll pop some pictures on the screen in a minute as well, but it's basically made up of squares. You crochet them all together. It's the filet crochet pattern. You have a heart in the middle. Then when you finish one square, you just carry on with the next one. So even though they are individual squares, well, they're rectangles really, they work seamlessly together. And then when you finish, you just join the end to the beginning and you have a loop like that. So let me try and put it on. I'm just going to take my mic off and then I'll put it on. This is what it looks like on. It's just a loop. You can make it shorter, you can make it longer. I used 100 grams, well, slightly less than 100 grams. It's 100 grams plus the safety margin. I may have managed to squeeze one more square out of it. I can't remember, but I've used 100 grams of Viva DK from Symphony Yarns. So I think it's 100% merino yarn. I should have double checked that before I started filming, but it's a really nice loop. Just fits nicely around your neck. If you want it shorter, like more like a cowl, you can make it shorter. I did 6 repeats, I think. So you can make it shorter so it fits tighter around your neck, or you can make it longer so you can loop it twice around your neck. You can even turn it into a blanket. You can make several strips and then sew them together, or whatever you want to, really. It's very flexible. But 6 of these rectangles takes 100 grams. The yarn I use for this one is knitted. This one is crocheted in Yatagan Merino cotton, and I just did that as a quick sample to use for my workshops, because I was teaching this for the first time in over 10 years at Stitch Festival. I'm teaching it again at Black Sheep Wools for a full day. So the choice then will be between this pattern and hopefully another pattern, which is a little bit more difficult. I'm teaching it at Black Sheep Wools at the end of April. I'm teaching the 24th or 25th of April. I didn't write down the dates now. But one of those days is filet crochet. Last time I looked, there was still a space left. It was full for ages, but they had a cancellation. So there may still be a space left. If not, I'm teaching it again in June or July. So June and July, I'm back for 2 days at the end of June, 2 days in July, and I'm teaching filet crochet, top down raglan, which I know is full, brioche knitting, which I think is full, and Orenburg lace knitting. So I think the last time I looked a few days ago, the filet crochet and the Orenburg lace knitting both had spaces left on them in June and July. And there may be a space left for filet crochet in April. Everything will be linked below, so do go and check it out. It's also on my website on the workshop page and in my newsletter. So that's the Love is in the Air cow or scarf, infinity scarf. You can make it in any DK yarn. This is Yashka Merino cotton, and this is Symphony Viva DK, which is a hand-dyed yarn, which is beautiful. I remember you can get the Viva DK 20% off at the moment. I don't have a ton of choice, but I do have some colours on my website. You can also get 25% off the pattern, because I always do 25% off the pattern when it's released. I'll pop the details below because I haven't actually listed it yet at the time of filming this. I also had another filet crochet pattern from when I used to teach it over 10 years ago. Another pattern I've written up for my workshop, which I'd never published. And I decided to revamp that one as well. So I revamped Love is in the Air scarf earlier this year. I take it to work on it in February and March, I think. She did a fantastic job. I'm really pleased. It's got charts and written instructions, so whatever you prefer to follow. It is written in English terminology because I live in the UK, so I'm using British crochet terminology. But it's the Love is in the Air count. It's only trebles and chains, basically, so it's fairly easy. This is, I hasn't got a name yet. This is a little bit more difficult. It also has these diamond-shaped stitches. They're called diamond lacets. So this one uses, it's also a filet crochet pattern, but it has diamond lacets in it. So it's a little bit more lacy looking, a little bit more complex. I'm also using Viva DK for this. This is the color Aubergine. It's a very dark purple with a bit of almost black in it, but it's not quite black, but I really like it. So I'm making this, I'm trying to make this so it's the same size as the other one, so that the two patterns can be used interchangeably and combined. So last night I made this up. I've changed the chart a little bit from my original version to make it the same number of stitches and rows as the Love is in the Air. So I've had to, this morning I've typed up the new chart as a knitting chart, basically, so I can follow it. And then I'm going to send it to my tech editor next week. So my plan is to try and do 1 square a day. I should have enough yarn to do 6 like I did for Love is in the Air. So if I do one a day, it's Thursday today, so Thursday, so I got 5 more to do: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I should be able to finish this by Monday if I do one a day. I'm going to time myself this afternoon doing one and see how long it takes me, because I don't think it takes me that long to do one. When I was teaching the Love is in the Air Cow Filet Crochet at Sedge Festival, I taught 2 workshops. The first workshop I had, I think, about 12 people, 10, 12 people, something like that. The second one on the Saturday, I only had 2 people. It was a very relaxed workshop, quite pleasant. It was my last workshop before I had to head back to Paddington and get the train home, so it was quite a relaxing workshop. But in the one on the Thursday, Friday, I can't remember now, but the bigger one, where I had a lot more people, I think 2 people managed to complete a whole motif in an hour and a half. So I reckon it should take me about an hour to do this, because obviously I know what I'm doing and I can do it quicker, hopefully. Plus each motif kind of gets a little bit quicker because I'm starting to memorize the pattern. I'm using this project bag. I'll show you. I'm really struggling at the moment with like crocheting in a rack. Can you see that joint? That's really ugly. This is not going to become a pattern because I'm not making this again. I used linen stitch. I bought the yarn in Norway, I think when I went nearly 2 years ago, and it took me forever to make this. I don't know why, but I think it's the linen stitch in 3 colours. It's so slow. Anyway, I haven't used it. When I finished, it took me ages, probably like over a year, to actually add the lining and the clutch frame. It's one of my small clutch frames. Oh, that's another thing I have loads of on my website, is clutch frames. For the festival clutch, which is a smaller clutch frame like this one, and my other clutch bags: sparkle clutch, color clutch, glamour clutch, and the brioche clutch. I have frames for that as well, quite a few, on my website. So I eventually managed last year to finish this, and I haven't used it. So I thought, I'm doing crochet project. It's a small project, so let's get this one out and use this one. So that's what I'm doing for this project. Before we look at what I've been knitting, I also got this out yesterday. This is King Cole raffia that's left over from this tote bag that I crocheted a couple of years ago. My intention was to write up the pattern and I never got around to it. So originally I put some leather handles on it, but the leather handles were really thick and stiff, and I didn't find it very comfortable to carry it. So last year I changed it to crochet handles. I think they've stretched a bit, but not too bad. The bag is great. I've used it a lot the last 2 summers. We're going to Italy at the end of April, so I'm planning to take this with me. I need to have a look at the handles and make sure they're not too long for me. My intention was last spring to redo this and actually write up the pattern, and I never got around to it. I saw some raffia yarn at Garntopia in Oslo when I was there in February, and it was really good value. I can't remember how much it cost, but it had quite a lot of meterage, but it came on cones, so it was quite big. So I couldn't buy it and bring it back to the UK with me because I wouldn't have room in my luggage. So I took a picture of it so I knew what it was, and then my plan was, when I go back to Norway next time, was to order it. Now originally I planned to probably go back like end of April, but because of workshops and this trip to Italy for my husband's birthday, and it's a big birthday this year, I'm not going to Norway till the end of May. So I may order it and have it delivered to my parents. But I also was watching a YouTube video the other day. I like watching videos on people who pack hand luggage only. Don't know why. Don't think there's much more I can learn now about packing hand luggage only. But I really like watching those videos on YouTube. And there's a couple of YouTubers, American ones, that I follow. One is from Texas, I think. And she was doing a video the other day, and she was showing this clutch bag like this, but it was crocheted in raffia, and she'd bought it. It wasn't one she'd made herself. And I thought, oh, I want to do that, and that'd be great to do before we go to Italy. So I started looking around at raffia. King Cole still does this in this colorway and a few others. They don't do a lot of colors, and the others I don't like. This is still the only color I like. But I don't know how much I need. I guess I could weigh this and use that as a guide, but I didn't do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the base today, or tomorrow or over the weekend sometime with this, work out how much I need for the base, and then we'll use that to work out how much I need to finish the rest of the clutch bag, and then order it. Doesn't matter if it's not the same dye lot, because if I use this is enough to do the whole base, I don't mind if the rest of the bag is a slightly different dye lot. That's fine. So that's my plan. So I took that downstairs to me yesterday, and then I didn't do it because I started the filet crochet thing instead. I decided that was more urgent, but I might get this out, take that downstairs with me, because we're going to Plymouth on Saturday, I think. So I might take that with me as my shopping tote if it's not raining. I did use it a lot last year. I think I took it with me when we went to Lisbon in October, but I can't remember. I don't think I used it actually. I don't know. Can't remember, but I have used it a lot before, and I really like it. Let's look at what else I've been knitting. I have done a little bit of work on my languishing sweater, the Sabbable sweater that's been on the needle since I think September last year. I don't know, I'm really not motivated to finish this. I've decided I want to try and finish it before we go to Italy. The thing is, I also am waiting for yarn for a deadline for May, and I need to get big chunk of that done before we go to Italy, because I think when we come back from Italy I only have a week for the deadline, so I need to do a big chunk of that, but the yarn hasn't arrived yet, so I'll start chasing the yarn up next week, I think, so I can get that started and make some progress on that. I don't like taking deadline work with me on holiday if I can help it, partly because I'm always worried about it getting damaged or lost. So plan is to start on that next week. Okay, so I've done quite a bit on the sleeve. I can't remember where I was last week. That's the marker where I finished the short row sleeve cap shaping. I think I was on this grey bit last time, so maybe here. I've done quite a bit. There was one evening where I sat down and did a whole chunk. I think I may have only worked on it one evening. So yeah, I guess the sleeve is halfway done. Just over halfway done. I don't know. I would like to try and get maybe the first sleeve finished over the Easter weekend. Depends on how much we're out and how much we're at home. The reason I haven't done much on it is because I've kind of been a bit distracted by this lovely pink thing, which I am really loving. I'm using my Oh Wow Amsterdam project bag that came with my Cool Wool Links Advent, not last year, the year before. Last year, 2025, I know some people who got the Cool Wool Links Advent and never received it, and I also know loads of people are struggling to get refunds. Somebody I know had to threaten legal action to get her refund. It's such a shame. I don't really know the dye behind Cool Wool Links. I've only briefly said hello to her at the show once, I think. But I love her colorways, and I ordered the Advent 2024, and it came in plenty of time before December, and I was really happy with it. I haven't done anything with it yet. That's one of the things on my list this year. So when I heard that there were problems with the 2025 Advent, I thought that was really sad. It's sad when there's dyes that you like and that you've bought before and been happy with, and then you find out that there are problems. I know life happens, but this is the problem with Advents, and this is just a warning, because a lot of indie dyes are starting to put out their Advents. I haven't seen a lot for sale yet. Maybe I'm just not following the right people or seeing their posts. I don't know, but I haven't seen a lot for sale yet. But I have seen a few kind of saying they're going to put them out on sale soon. One thing to remember with the Advents is that if you buy them now, or you've already bought them and you've paid in full, if they don't get shipped, you may struggle to get your money back. I think PayPal has a 6-month limit. Credit cards might be different. So just be careful when it comes to buying Advents. Don't buy them too early. I have ordered some in like March, April, but I usually pay by installments because they're expensive. That also means that I don't usually finish paying them off till, like, say, August. So if there are problems and they don't get delivered, at least I can put a claim through PayPal to get part of my money back. I may not get it all back, but I'll at least get a chunk of it back. So just if you are buying Advents this early, just be careful. My Cool Wool Links Advent, I actually only bought in 2024 after Yarndale, which was end of September. So I only bought it like probably first week in October or something. So you don't have to. I mean, I know some indie does will put them up now, and when they're sold out, they're sold out. Most of them will die extra, so quite often as well, come November, they will have spares. And a lot of them will now also in January put them up for a new kind of round of pre-orders. So if you saw them before Christmas and you really liked them, but you hadn't ordered them, you can quite often order them in January. The Cool Wool Links Advent I got 2 years ago, I only got a 12-day one because I think I had 1 or 2 others that year. So I only got a 12-day one, and then I really liked the other half. So in January, I ordered the half I hadn't got. So I ended up with a full Advent, and then it's still sitting here. So just don't be too, just be careful with things like that. Things that have like a long pre-order period. Just be careful. Things are very precarious for a lot of businesses now, and this war in Iran and the whole situation is not making things any better. So I think a lot of businesses could go bust this year. So just be careful ordering stuff like that in advance, even if it's a dye that you know and you followed for a long time and you trust and all the rest of it. Just be careful. If you can't afford to lose that money, don't spend it, would be my advice. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of work on this. I had hoped to get to the underarm on the front. So I've reached the underarm on the back a few days ago. It's got short row shaping across the shoulders, across the back. Not easy to see. Hang on. Yeah, you can kind of, if I hold it like, hang on. If I hold it like that, you can see it kind of. And then I picked up stitches for each front. I did the left front first down to the bottom of the front neck, and then I did the right shoulder down to the bottom of the front neck, and then knitted across. And I have, I think, about 4 or 5 rows left to do. Let's have a look. Yes, I have 7 rows left to do. I have that much yarn left of the first ball. I am slightly worried that I haven't got enough yarn. When I put it through my spreadsheet to work out how much yarn I'd need based on the measurements I wanted and my swatch, it was actually telling me I needed 6 skeins, which sounds like a lot. I have done sweaters myself with an all-over lace pattern in 4-ply yarn for 400 grams before. So that's what I ordered, and that's what I got. I can order more, but it won't be the same dye lot. But as it's hand dyed, that'll probably be okay anyway. But I would like to try and stick to 400 grams. So I think what I'm going to do when I get to the underarm, I'm going to carry on the body till I've used up the rest of this ball, which isn't a lot. It's only that much. I don't know how much that is in grams. 10, 20 grams maybe. So I won't get much done on the body, but I'd like to do enough on the body so I can try it on. I might actually do a second skein on the body. So I have 3 I haven't used. So I may do a second skein on the body, and then I will do the sleeves. So I'll probably do both sleeves before I finish the body, because I can always adjust the length of the body. I want to make sure the sleeves are the right length. So I might do, I think I'll finish what I've got and wind up a second skein to use for the body. And then once I've used the second skein on the body, I will then wind a new skein and do 1 sleeve and then do the second sleeve, so I can work out how much I need for each sleeve and make sure they get done. I think that might be what I'll do. I don't know, we'll see. Might change my mind again, but I'd like to finish this and the sideball sweater and make some progress on my deadline project before we go to Italy at the end of April. And then when I get back from Italy, I'm only home for 2.5 weeks, and then I go to Norway. So I want to finish this before we go to Italy. I'd like to wear it in Italy. It may end up being too warm. I'm envisaging this as being light enough that it will be a perfect sweater to throw over in the summer over a t-shirt or a dress if it's a bit chilly. I don't know how warm Italy's going to be. We're going to the Pompeii area. We're staying in a town called Scafati, I think. I remember that wrong. It's near Pompeii. We want to do Pompeii, and there's another similar place there that starting with the H, which I can't remember the name of, but I marked it on Google Maps, so we want to go there. We want to go to Naples, maybe the Amalfi Coast, I don't know. So if you're familiar with that part of Italy, if there's anything else we should see, let me know. Is it worth going to Capri? My friend is going just before us, and she's booked a boat trip to Capri. I just wonder whether is it going to be really touristy and very expensive. because that's not the kind of stuff my husband likes. So let me know if you're familiar with that area. Is it worth getting a boat trip to Capri, or is it just very touristy and expensive? Is it worth exploring the Amalfi Coast, or is it very touristy and expensive? Sorrento, I think that's nearby. Is that worth doing? Want to do Naples? Is there anything we should see in Naples? Let me know. We are going to hire a car. I have been warned about not driving in Naples. Somebody said to me the other day when I said we're hiring a car, they said, oh, but the Italians, the driving is crazy. And I was like, well, we've driven in Spain for well over 20 years. We'll be fine. But I've told Naples traffic specifically is particularly bad. So I think we're near a train station. So I think when we go to Naples, we'll probably go in by train, I think. So I'd like to finish that pink sweater before we go, because I envisage it would be a nice light sweater that I can wear on the travel day. Might get to Italy and find it's way too hot. I've done that loads of times in Spain when we've gone out of season. I've needed a light sweater going to the airport here in the UK, and then when we get to Spain, I haven't touched it. So we'll see. But I do want to finish that before the end of April. I do find having like trips like that good as a kind of goal to try and finish things off. If I have a deadline for a magazine or a book publisher or anything like that, I will get stuff done in time. Sometimes only just in time, but it'll get done. The self-imposed deadlines I'm not very good at. And if I don't finish it, it can languish a bit, like that sample jumpers. That's why I'm keen to get it finished before we go away. And then when we come back from Italy, I can focus on finishing my deadline. Then I got some more deadlines in June that I also need to get started on before, well, at some point, because of the fact that I'm going to be away for 2 weeks, home for 2 weeks, away for 2 weeks. Last year, I was out of the country for 104 days in total. I was in Lisbon for 7 days, and then I was in Norway for 97 days. I'm hoping this year won't be as bad, but that's why I need to kind of set myself deadlines and stick to them. I'm also, as I mentioned earlier, working on my workshop submission for Knit and Stitch Show at Alexandra Palace in London in October and Harrogate in November. If you're planning to attend those shows, or you normally attend those shows, and there's any particular workshop you'd be interested in me teaching, can you leave me a comment and let me know, because it really helped me. I'm looking to teach knitting workshops and also add a few more crochet workshops. So filet crochet is still on my submission, and I'd like to add some other crochet workshops. But I need to, my plan had been to submit them all this week, but I'm still working on some ideas. So I won't be submitting it till next week, probably. The deadline is not for like a couple of weeks, I don't think, but I want to get it done. So I'm not rushing. So if you've got anything that you would like to attend, the kind of workshops that you fancy doing when you go to a show, let me know what that would be. Obviously, you're not committing yourself, but just give me some ideas, because it's difficult to come up with ideas. Although I do have quite a few ideas now, so I don't know. It's also not my choice what gets chosen. The organizer chooses what they think will fit in with the rest of their program and whoever else is teaching. Okay, that's it. Don't forget the Love Is in the Air scarf, filet crochet scarf. If you can crochet, do chains and trebles, you can make this. That pattern is live on Ravelry and Payhip now, and it's 25% off. I don't know how for, but I normally put the discount details in the description on the pattern page on Payhip and Ravelry, and I'll put it below this video, and I'll link to both. 20% off my website until the 6th of April, code Easter26, all one word. And 5,000 subscriber giveaway. Leave me a comment below if you want to be entered to win one of my online courses. I will draw that winner next Wednesday, Thursday. When should we say to finish that draw? Let's say Tuesday. Let's say I'll leave that price draw open until Tuesday the 7th. So if you comment by Tuesday the 7th, I'm assuming I'll probably film Thursday next week than I normally do, but because my daughter's home and I don't know what I'm doing yet, I may film it on Wednesday. So if you leave your comment by the end of Tuesday, and whenever I film next week, I will go through the comments and choose a winner. If you leave it on Wednesday, you may still be included in the price draw, but I can't guarantee it. It just depends on when I film next week. But I'd like to get that price draw done so it doesn't drag on for weeks on end. Thank you very much if you're a subscriber. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It really helps me to get my videos seen. And Tuesday video this week was... it was my pattern for the Knitter issue 226. I talked about it last week, so I'm not going to show it to you now. But I did a separate video on that on Tuesday last week. Also on last Sunday, I did a review of the Easy Hotel I stayed in London when I went up for Stitch Festival. I'd never stayed in an Easy Hotel before, and I did watch a couple of review videos about it before I booked it. So I did a review video on it because it was fairly quick and easy to do. That was live on my channel on Sunday. I am thinking, I've been thinking about this for a while actually. I'd really like to do some different types of videos, like more lifestyle videos. Talk about handbags, travel, reviews of different products, that kind of thing. But I don't know whether to start a different YouTube channel or whether to keep it on this YouTube channel as an occasional Sunday video, bonus video. As I've now got to 5,000 subscribers and it's taken me years, it makes sense to keep it all together. But the people who watch my knitting stuff may not be interested in other stuff, and the people who might be interested in the other stuff might not want to watch the knitting stuff. So also I'm really busy, so I'm thinking, am I going to have time? But I do really enjoy making videos and doing YouTube. So if that's something you think would be interesting, let me know in the comments. If you think no, absolutely not, let me know in the comments. I think that's it for today. If you have any, if you happen to have that Inside Crochet issue 9, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. You can email me on info@yarnaddict.co.uk. Right, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Have a lovely Easter if you're celebrating, or if you're celebrating another kind of religious festival around about now. See you next time.